Hey, what is up guys, it is RB and Hardwire with a brand new video. Today I want to show you guys my latest $1,300 PC featuring a Radeon RX 6800 graphics card and AMD's new Ryzen 5 5600X CPU. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys step by step how to put together this $1,300 PC build in 2021, showing you guys all parts I'm using before booting the system up and testing out the gaming performance. And if you follow my steps throughout this video, you should be able to see these numbers in your favorite game with this PC. Now, I will be detailing several games in greater detail after we completed the PC build. Now, all PC components you see in the video are linked up in the video description. Now, before we get on with the build, hey, my name is Robin, and on this channel you'll find PC build guides where I'm using both new and used PC components, testing out the gaming performance and helping you figure out what PC parts to pick for your next gaming PC. And so if you're interested in that, smash up the like button down below and hit the subscribe button and bell icon. Alright, so as always, let's kick things off by installing the RAM, CPU, storage onto our motherboard. This here is the Strix B550 ROG Gaming F from Asus. This is a $178 board with lots of features such as addressable RGB and plenty of USB ports and great VRMs. Now, AMD's B550 chipset offers Ryzen 5000 support out of the box and PCIe 4 support, which allows you to pop in one of those super speedy and super fast M.2 devices in case you feel, you need even faster loading times later down the road. Despite all of that good stuff, the Gaming F is quite expensive, and so if you do want to get away a bit cheaper here, you can also opt for the MSI B550-A Pro series without giving up important features. Anyway, both motherboards are linked up in the video description below. Now, before we install the CPU, we're gonna get rid of these two retention clips, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that first. So we're going to pair the B550 with AMD's new Zen 3 based Ryzen 5 5600X, coming in at $299. Now, this is a 6-core 12-thread CPU with a 3.7 GHz base clock and a boost clock of 4.6 GHz. Now, taking a quick look at the 5600X gaming performance, we see that the $299 processor is keeping up well versus the competition, making the 6-core CPU a match made in heaven for the Radeon RX 6800 graphics card. To install the CPU, all we need to do is to line up this triangle located at the lower left side of the corner of the CPU with this triangle on the motherboard socket, pull back the retention arm, line up the triangles we just looked at, simply drop the CPU in the socket, return the arm back down, and our CPU is installed. A cooler comes included with the 5600X, which is good enough for stock settings, and although the CPU can run fairly hot during gaming, as we can see, it is nothing to worry about. AMD has told us that the 5600X is designed to reach quite high temperatures, but if you do want to spend a few extra dollars on an aftermarket cooler, I think the eSports 34 Duo from Arctic is a great pick, coming in at around $50. And this cooler is linked up down below if you guys want to take a look at it. Anyway, for today's build, we're gonna use the included stock cooler, and the cooler installation is pretty simple. Position the heatsink over the CPU so that the 4 spring screws align with the screw holes on the backplate. Then carefully secure the cooler in a pattern like so until you feel resistance using a Phillips screwdriver. Then connect the CPU fan cable to the CPU fan header onto the motherboard. Alright, so next up we're going to install our RAM kit, and for today's build we find Corsair's Vengeance Pro RGB. Now anything around 3000 to 3200 is what I recommend for most gamers, as it typically offers the best price to performance. We're getting optimal performance by putting them in DIMM slot 2 and 4, so open up these latches. Now they can only go in one way, and that's it. And now guys, we are almost ready to install our motherboard in our case. What is left to do, however, is storage. This is the A2000 from Kingston with 500 gigs worth of space. Now 500 gigs is enough to fit quite a few games actually. Now you can always supplement this with a hard drive later on if you're running short. We find one of the two slots down here, so take up the screw and slide in the A2000 in with a 45-degree angle, just like so. Then go ahead and secure it down. Now we can go ahead and move our motherboard assembly and install it in our case, and this is the Fantex P400A. This is a $98 mid-tower with three 120 ARGB fans that can be addressed and customized to your liking via the ARGB controller that we find at the front. Now the whole front is covered with these small holes. These are creating an excellent cooling over our components. You can add up to a 360 radiator at the top, although I do recommend sticking to a 241 or a 281. There's also room to fit another fan at the rear if needed, but overall, yeah, lots of space and cooling potential right out of the box. To get access to the interior, we need to untie 4 thumb screws. And then we can go ahead and secure the motherboard using the screws that comes provided by Fantex. And with the motherboard secured, before we move on and install the graphics card, now is a good time to connect the chassis cables that takes care of front audio and USB. Let's start with USB, and this is what this cable looks like. The connector is located at the mid-right side of the motherboard. Next up is front audio, and this cable goes to the left side corner. Lastly, we have the buttons for the front panel, and you find these connector on the lower right side. And with that done, let's go ahead and install the power supply, and for today's build I chose the VGA 600 watt with 80 plus efficiency certification. With that said, I do recommend that you guys settle for 650 watt just to have a little bit of extra headroom, and I have linked up a similar PSU down in the video description. Now make sure that the fan is facing downwards, then gently slide it into place and secure it. Now we're just gonna do a couple of cables and wiring before installing our graphics, and first up we got the 24-pin power for the motherboard, and this one goes to a connector on the mid-right side. Next up we have the 8-pin power, and this is to feed power for our CPU, and this one goes all the way up to the top left side corner. Now to the component you guys have been waiting for, time to install our graphics, and yeah, for today's build we find a Radeon RX 6800, this model coming from Power Color, and this is AMD's own reference design. It comes with 3 fans, on a 2-slot cooler and a nice looking backplate, and yeah, I'm telling you guys, the camera simply doesn't do justice. This card, wow, this is engineering at its finest, and this card weighs a freaking ton. Anyway, based on the new RDNA 2 architecture, the Radeon RX 6800 offers excellent 4K and 1440p gaming performance. As you guys know though, prices on GPUs are totally upside down right now. Hopefully, we do hope that the situation gets better as summer comes along. So plug in the graphics card and take these 2 dual PCIe cables and plug it into our graphics just like so. and what is left to do is to flip the case around, whack on the side panel, and we have completed our $1,300 budget gaming PC build. Let's fire up some games and let's take a look at what this PC performs like. On your screen we're looking at the performance numbers I gathered from today's build. I ended up running 18 games in both 1440p and 4K resolution with graphics detail set to max in both 4K and 1440p, and as can be seen, for the most part we're able to reach 60 FPS. But yeah, with that said, let's have a look at a few of the games at a deeper level. And first up we have Biomutant. Again, as you guys can see, I'm going all in. Starting at 1440p, we're getting 131 FPS, and at 1% low, we're seeing 117 FPS. At 4K resolution, again, using the same settings, results in an average of 68 FPS. Let's move on to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Let's start having a look at 1440p, where I put everything at very high. This gives us an average frame rate of 101 FPS with 1% low at 72 FPS. Bumping the resolution to 4K results in 56 FPS. And looking at the settings, you guys can see that I'm selecting very high settings here. Moving on to Days Gone, at 1440p highest settings, you can expect 93 FPS with 1% low at 71 FPS. At 4K resolution, with same level of graphics fidelity, you can expect 65 FPS with 1% low at 53. Next up we have Death Stranding, starting at 1440p high settings and Fidelity FX cast turned on. And with these settings we're able to get 180 FPS, whereas at 4K we saw 117 FPS on average, again using the same settings as before. Red Dead Redemption 2 is another popular and demanding game that I've seen quite a few guys been suggesting, so let's take a look at this one as well, starting with 1440p, and we're going pretty much all in here. As we can see, these settings gives us 71 FPS on average, and a 4K resolution using the same settings results in an average of 44 FPS. Last up we have Control, and this is yet another very demanding game actually, and at 1440p maxed out with ray tracing set to medium, you can expect 51 FPS. Whereas at 4K resolution, highest settings and ray tracing turned off, you can expect around 41 FPS on average. Again, all PC components can be found in the video description below. Now down in the video description you guys also find a link to the official Discord server, and if you guys want to become a part of the community, ask questions either to me or any of the awesome people on the channel, go ahead and join the Discord server today. Link can be found, as I said, down below. Now watch either of these two videos. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.